Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Jen Antunes and today I'm going to be creating this beautiful look using only Wet n Wild products. Now this is one of my favorite drugstore brands because it is super affordable, they're vegan, they're cruelty free, and they have some amazing products. As always, I invite you to comment down below what your experience is with Wet n Wild products and what is your favorite, your go-to Wet n Wild products that you love. And if you enjoy videos like this, you can let me know by clicking the like button. Now, with my kids starting school recently, my schedule's been a little crazy. But I am going to be trying to upload videos every Monday and Friday. And every once in a while, I'll probably also pop in a Wednesday video. So because of that, I recommend hitting that subscribe button and notification bell. So that way you don't miss out when I upload and you can check out my new video. Now let's get into the video. Okay, so a couple of weeks ago, my local Ulta had this massive sale on Wet n Wild and Catrice makeup. So, you know, your girl went and took advantage of that. And I went and bought everything Wet n Wild that I didn't have for a full face. So the products I'm going to be using today, some are going to be first impressions, like this new Wet n Wild eyeshadow palette. I don't know if it is new to Wet n Wild, but it is new to me. I'll also be using products that I already had, and many of them are products that I use consistently. And to be honest with you, I was actually a little surprised when I went and grabbed all my Wet n Wild makeup on how much Wet n Wild makeup I actually already owned. Okay, so let's get started, and I'm going to use one of my favorite Wet n Wild products, and that is the Photo Focus 3-in-1 Primer Water. This is the rose one. My favorite one out of these is the cucumber one, but Ulta didn't have it, so I went with my second favorite, which is the rose one. I love this. It smells like roses. It hydrates my skin before applying makeup. I mean, I already did do my skincare routine and it's all moisturized and all that, but my skin has a very difficult time holding my hydration. So anytime I can give it any more hydration, I do so. So this I love. And I'll actually use this at the end to set my makeup, and throughout the day I can use it to kind of freshen up my makeup when I need to. So this is like a multi-use wonderful product, and it is super affordable. Next, I'm going to use the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Face Primer in Matte. So this is new to me. As you can probably tell, I'm going to let you know what products I have used or love and what products I have not used. And this is a product I have not used yet. So this will be my first impressions. And I'm going to use this to help maintain my oily T-zone. Wow, it comes out kind of like a cream. That's interesting. Let's see how... I probably poured out way too much. I just did a little squeeze and it just squirted out. Yeah, I did way too much because it is applying like a lotion. Doesn't feel like a primer. And it looks like it did help my shine, matte out my skin a bit. Especially my forehead doesn't seem so shiny. It literally feels like I just put like my day cream on my face. I'm liking that. We'll see how it pairs with the rest of my base makeup. Next is the eyeshadow primer. And my go-to favorite overall eyeshadow primer, or at least one of my favorite overall eyeshadow primer, is the Photo Focus Rose Eyeshadow Primer. I've actually already gone through a whole tube of this, and this is my second one, and I love it. I hope they're not discontinuing it. Like my local Walgreens used to always have these, and they haven't restocked them. So please, Wet n Wild, don't discontinue this. This is my favorite. But I had picked up a different one because I forgot I had grabbed this. So I picked up their Photo Focus eyeshadow primer, their regular one. So I'm going to give this one a try and see if it's similar. That way, if they do end up discontinuing this one, I'll just use this one. Poured out like a pea-sized amount onto my fingers and rubbed them together. And I'm going to apply it to everywhere I'm going to add eyeshadow, including my under eyes. I have to say this one is a bit thicker in texture. I guess we will see how it works. Next, I'm going to do my brows, and I'm going to be using the Ultimate Brow Retractable Brow Pencil. I've never used this before, so this will be my first impressions. So I am liking what I'm seeing. So on one end, it's like an angle, and then on the other end is a small spoolie. Spoolies like this help get my brows up and into place where they need to be. So my brows are on, and I actually really like this. I noticed that the texture is more like a wax type of formula, which is perfectly fine. I actually personally like wax formulas. It helps keep your brows in place without using a brow gel. The only issue I have is, see, for me using this, the angle kind of like disappeared and now it's like becoming straight. But I noticed that it does have like where it comes out of, it comes out as an angle. So I wonder if maybe if I play around with it and like just apply it where it's like that, where the product isn't out as much, I wonder if that would help keep the angle. I'm going to play around with that a little bit. Okay, so now for the fun part. So this is the 40 palette, and it comes with 40 colors. Okay, so what look am I going to create today? The only thing about this palette is that it doesn't have a mirror, but I really can't complain for the price for 40 shadows. Not too bad. So we're going to start off with the transition color, and I'm going to apply this for my transition color with a JH33. There is a lot of fallout, but that is typical of Wet n Wild eyeshadows, I've noticed. I've only used one of their other eyeshadow palettes. It was like their rectangle ones. That was like back in the day before I started selling Avon. Many of my first like makeup products that I got were Wet n Wild. I'm really tempted to use this shade, but I'm thinking for today I'm gonna kind of go with what I've been wearing more so. Like with the weather changing from summer to fall, I've been kind of wearing colors that kind of translate to that. Oh, we might be able to use that color, because the next one I'm going to go into is the one to the right of the last one I used. This one right here. And I'm going to be using my Profusion eyeshadow blending brush. And I'm going to blend this into my crease area and outer corner, but I'm going to have it more on the lower end of my crease. I'm going to use this color to give more definition. And I'm just tapping it right into my outer corner. Now I'm going to take my JH30, which is just a big fluffy blending brush that is like really loose. And I'm just going to blend all the colors together so that way there are no harsh lines and everything looks like it's working together. So I'm going to use my Wet n Wild flat blending brush and I'm going to use this pretty shimmery color. This eyeshadow brush is actually like one of my go-to favorite eyeshadow brushes. I use it all the time to apply eyeshadows to my lid. It's like perfect angle to the top to like really fit into my crease so the shadows all blend together. It's not like overly shimmery and shiny. It's just a right little amount of shine, which I actually like. So that's going to be it for the eyeshadow for now. We're going to get back to it to do the rest of it to finish off the look. But let's move on to eyeliner and mascara. So today I'm going to be using the Wet n Wild Breakup Proof Waterproof Retractable Eyeliner. This is one of my favorite black waterproof eyeliners. I absolutely love it. It is super, super smooth and it glides on beautifully. I love it. I decided to go for a more bold eyeliner look. So next I'm going to use my Wet n Wild Mega Volume Mascara. This is actually a product that I already owned and wore. As you can see, the brush is pretty volumizing. What I personally love about this is the formula. When you apply it, it literally feels like you are applying nothing. And I know from my experience, other volumizing mascaras, they tend to feel heavier than more, say, the lengthening type of mascaras. Like, it literally feels like I have nothing on my lashes. Like, I cannot feel it at all. I love it. Now on to our face. I'm going to be using the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Foundation in the shade Soft Beige. And I just realized I did not give you these shades for my eyeliner, which I used Blackest Black. And my brow one, I used medium brown. And I will try to be better about telling you guys the shades I use. So as I said, this is Soft Beige, and this is my first time I've ever used this. Now, before I start applying that, I am going to share with you a little trick. It's where you use a setting spray type of product to wet your sponge. So today I'm going to use my Photo Focus Rose. Spray it all down. Now, what is going to happen by you doing that is you're actually going to be pressing in the foundation with setting spray. So it's really going to make sure that the foundation is going to be locked in. This is especially helpful because I know many of us with work and everything, we're having to wear our mask. So this is really going to make sure that your foundation and your face makeup is really going to stay. Oh, I have to say I'm getting a strong pink smell. So according to the sticky on the back of the foundation, it was tested under 7 light conditions, and it's supposed to deliver virtually flawless and buildable coverage every time. Precision match color with matte second skin finish. And it's supposed to have soft focus properties to help perfect appearance of skin. Those sound all pretty good. Especially if this is a product that you're going to use every day. The only thing is right now is the smell. It is a strong paint smell. And it's lingering a little bit. Hopefully it does go away. Now, I wouldn't say that it is full coverage because I could still see my dark under eye circles here and my freckles right here. I mean, I have to say it even has evened out my redness around my nose. If you watched my Rare Beauty review on Wednesday, you'll know that that foundation didn't really cover that up. So I do like that. The only issue that it hasn't covered up is my dark under eye circles, but I'm liking it. Hopefully it will be a foundation that lasts. The paint smell is starting to go away, which is good. So now the concealer, I got the Photo Focus Concealer in the shade Fair Neutral. I'm noticing as I'm pulling this out, it's not a very liquidy, creamy concealer. Like the foundation was more like watery than this. There's the doe foot applicator is kind of small, which is fine. I normally use concealer to cover up my dark under eye circles and then to kind of highlight around my face. This has a slight smell to it too, but it's not as strong as the foundation was when I was applying it. I am not too sure about this concealer. Let me try a brush to see if that will be better. Using my Rare Beauty concealer brush. The reason why I'm switching because with the sponge, I'm noticing on this side it's starting to crease, and I like literally just put it on. And as I was pressing it into my skin, it was like creasing even more. Okay, it's a little bit better on this side, but still like accentuating my wrinkles and the formula doesn't really blend. It's like wherever you apply it, that's where it stays. Unless you like put a lot. And then, as we all know, when you end up putting a lot of any type of like liquid product, you end up creating like this, the creasing and the cakey look. Hopefully the powder will fix that. I don't know. I'm not really. You guys see this? This side I applied with the sponge at first, and this is the side I only used the brush. You see the difference? But they are still creasing and accentuating my lines on both sides. So I am not for this concealer. This is going to have to be a pass for me. So I'm going to set my concealer real quick before it gets worse. And I'm going to use the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Translucent Powder. Now to set my under eye, I love using the Sigma 4D HD Kabuki. It's basically like 4 triangles. Ooh, this is very powdery. See that as I'm pressing it into my skin, it's like smoking. Not sure how I feel about that. I have to say, I like the way that it makes my skin look. Alright, so going to move on, and I'm going to set the rest of my foundation in my face. I'm going to use a big fluffy brush, and this is my Wet n Wild powder brush. Got powder in my mouth. I am liking it. I'm liking the way this look is going. Normally not one to wear shimmery bronzers, but this is such a pretty color. So let's see how it goes on the face. So my go-to brush that I have been using for my bronzers are the Luxie 520 tapered face brush. Kind of like a big fluffy brush. And I'm not seeing too much pigment. I mean, it does give me a nice, beautiful little sun-kissed look to it. And I think this would be like a nice, pretty bronzer to wear like on my more no makeup days. I think I'm going to go into the contour palette, and I am actually going to contour today. So I got the Dulce de Leche shades. I have used this palette before. So this is the contour color, and then this is the highlight color. But as I was looking at this, I actually noticed on the bottom it says not tested on animals, and it made me remember another reason why I love Wet n Wild, and that is that they are vegan, animal cruelty free. Like, there are high-end name brands that aren't even that and cost a whole lot more money. So if Wet n Wild can do it, that's saying something. So I'm not really wanting to go into a deep contour, so I'm going to use my Luxie 640 Pro Precision Tapered Brush. It's just more like a skinnier brush, and it's more loose. And it's a lot more tapered on the top, as you can see. And I'm going to use this to get contour. My Luxie 512 Small Contour Brush. And I'm going to use this to highlight under my eyes. My mouth is full of powder, which I'm sure is not good. I actually hit pan on this a couple months ago. I just never picked it up. This was part of the sale, so I grabbed it because I already knew that I liked it. So now that we got some structure to our face, let's go into blush. Add some little bit of color. It's the Mega Glow Makeup Stick. This kind of, it's got like a creamy texture to it. I'm going to use my Sigma Curve Kabuki F83. I like to use this for my blush because it like fits right onto my cheek. So I'm going to just take from the swatch that I did. Normally don't like just applying blush right onto my face because that tends to be where you end up getting too much everywhere. This was not picking up from my swatch, so apply right onto the face so I can get some color. Alright, so the last thing for the face is highlighter. But I wanted to try their Mega Glow highlighting powder. I've heard, many YouTubers raving about this highlighter. I figured I would give it a try since I got it like half off anyways. Look at how beautiful this is. So I'm going to use my Morphe E61 highlighting brush. And, wow. I am glowing today. Now I can see why they were all about this highlighter. Can you see it? Can you see the sparkle? I love it. Oh my god. Now that our face makeup is done, let's finish up our eyes. And I'm not going to do much. I'm just going to apply just a little bit of shadow underneath. I'm going to be focusing more on highlighting like my inner corner and my brow bone. I'm going to use my e.l.f. eye crease brush. It looks like that. This shade again. And I always start on the outer corner because that way the majority of the color is there, and then you blend it inward. So as you go inward, it gets less. Next, I'm going to actually take the highlighter that I used, and I'm going to use my JH39 brush. For my brow bone, I'm actually going to go into this color right here. And I'm going to use the same brush, the JH39. On to our lips. And I will admit, I probably went a little crazy with the lips. I'm thinking this one. And we can maybe put the lip gloss with it. Now, I forgot to pick up a lip liner, so I'm going to use the LA Girl Ultimate Lip in shade Enduring Mauve. Now, little lip gloss. I'm just going to put the lip gloss right in the center of my lips, top and bottom. Now we're going to set it all in place with my go-to primer water. Okay, so this is my final look. What do you think? Okay, now I have to say I had a lot of fun playing with the products today. The last few weeks I actually haven't really been playing a whole lot of makeup looks, just kind of been doing my normal go-to looks. My all-time favorites, I would have to say, are still the 3-in-1 primer water. I really did love the highlighting powder and the lipsticks and lip gloss. I mean, I would have to say these are my top 3. Now, let me know what you think about the products I used today. Which Wet n Wild products do you love? Thank you for being here and watching my video today. If you enjoyed it and would like to see more videos like this, you can let me know by hitting that like button down below. And while you're there, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and notification bell so you don't miss out on any of my upcoming new videos. I hope you have a wonderful day, and remember, be kind to yourself and to others. Bye.